Alright guys, we have another one for you here. While the camera was off, I played the game, found some bugs, and we are going to fix those bugs, including one that's been bugging me since the very beginning. So let's go ahead and get in here and test this out. So the main thing we're looking at is the coins and the volume button. So this glitchy ladder needs to go, and I finally found a way around that. But let's take a look at our coins. We have 3, and our mute is set to be on. So now that we've died, our coins look like they reset, but they have not. Our music is still paused, which is okay because that's what they wanted, that's what they selected. But our music looks like it should be playing, so we need to fix that bit of code. Let's go into here. We'll do the easy one first. And I wish I knew it was this easy because I tried so many different ways. But the easiest way is to take this piece of code right here, copy and paste. And now we're going to make sure just this part is highlighted and add another condition and say when the player is on the floor. And when we're on the floor with platform enabled, we need to make sure that the 8 direction is disabled because it is when we are on the platform for our platform controls. And we're going to set that one to enabled. So with that, let's see if it fixed it. We still need to look at the audio. I got 3 coins. I got no glitchy movement, finally. And let's see. It did not reset the coins. So, they're overlapping. Oh, that's because we didn't reset the coins. We just worried about the latter part. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here because I've been practicing so much different code and I've kind of forgot what I've recorded and what I haven't. And so we're going to say when the player is destroyed, we are going to tell the system to set the value of coins to 0. And that will take care of that bit. And let's go ahead and think ahead a little bit because I mainly put these coins on here for example. So we are actually going to have level coins for the coins within the playable level. And we'll also have account coins, coins that stay with your account no matter what. So now that we've got that, we don't need to change any code because it officially fixes it for you. Unless you created a new global variable and got rid of the original coins. And while we're here, let's go ahead and fix the audio, which is here. So we're going to take this animation frame out. We'll leave the 2.2 second wait in, and we'll take this animation frame out on the music. So then what we want to do is we could actually Control Z twice. We're going to set animation frame 0. 0 is with the speaker icon there for sound on. And we're going to drag and drop this animation frame 1 to sound off. That was not a controlled drag, so it did not copy. We did not want that. We just wanted to get it out of there and into the other one. And I'll show an example of why it is important to keep that 0.2 second wait. So, I got 3 coins, still no glitchy ladder movement. Retry, and now I'm back to 1 coin. And our mute button is correct. So let's take this 0.2 second wait and let's watch it make me a liar. but now it has broken our code even though it looks like it should run right. There we go. Well, we didn't actually need it to begin with, and we actually can't click it to begin with. Is that an issue on the official load up too? Oh, possible crash incoming, just a heads up. Yeah, I can't even click it. So, Control Z, leave that 0.2-second wait time in there. Why that helps, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're controlling it through actions instead of through booleans. Or actually, that is through a boolean, so I don't know why it's not working. Just leave the 0.2 seconds in there and it will run fine. With that being said, I think we've got all the bugs fixed except for one. And I will take another different video to work on that one. And that's when we're at the top of the ladder. It still doesn't want to let us up here, because even though our bounding box or our mask or whatever you want to call it, to where we set up here to be like a V to give us a floor, it still wants to try to fall down to this rung. If you wish to fix that, there are a few options you can do. I'm playing with a few right now and trying to find the best one. But while we are waiting on that, let's go ahead and do the last bit of animation, or last bit of editing on this page. So we have our cloud here we've done nothing with so far. We're going to leave this outside the layout because my layout is cluttered with a whole bunch of stuff that I can accidentally grab. And always, you can find it on the left here. You can right click, do it here. I'm just going to right click on the cloud and add a behavior for bullet. I'm going to do the same thing again, add a behavior, and this time it's going to be for wrap. Once it gets to the end, we're going to pop back to the side and play again and over and over. So let us go ahead and set this first one before we make copies. So we do not want the angle set, because if it's going this way, which is the way we want it to go, it will look upside down like this. And another main point, now that we're on angles and upside down, let's talk about direction. Oh, with this selected. So speed 400 pixels per second is the speed, and we do not want 400, we want more like 150. But since we want to go to the left, we need negative 150 because it's counting on the x value. And left on the x value is a negative number. So we're going to set that there and just be happy with it. And then we're going to control and just drag some copies. And I'm just going to keep dragging or taking this one because it's within easy reach. And if you want some variety in there, right click here and clone. As you can see, it gave it a new name, like it's a whole new sprite, a whole new image, and it did copy the bullet and wrap, but you can change the information over here without changing the information on all these, which you could do that anyway if you truly wanted. But we're going to have two sets of clouds, nothing too fancy. Let's just put this one here, this one here, and this one here. So now we got that, and we're going to change, oh, and actually, if you've moved them all and you change this one speed to negative 200, once you go to this one here, if we can click it, selection. There we go. Now that we've clicked it, it is still set to negative 150. So what I'm going to do, I want them all to be the same. I'm going to highlight this here, and it's going to select all the ones. Oh, I wasn't even looking at that. I should really have checked this. Yep, that's still 150 because that is a copy of this one. And this one's set to 200. So just make sure you click away and click on, and all the copies of that one will be set. And as you can see, it says multiple. Let's just put them all at negative 200 and give that a test play. So as you can see, I've got some going fast, some going slow. These two got kind of close to each other. And two at top got kind of close to each other. So I'm actually just going to take this one out and that one out and make sure we unlock that. So this should be fine. There we go. Nothing's hovering too close to each other at the same speed, so I'm happy. And let me take a quick pause while I gather my thoughts on the next step. The next step will be the event died and the you died page. And we will be making some changes to this. I just want to make sure I've got my ducks in a row because there is a little bit going on with it that makes it interesting. Alright, now that I've got my thoughts gathered, what we're going to do is we're going to do the copy again, clone it for Cloud 3, and you really should be naming these as you're going, but I'm not going to worry about it since this layout isn't going to have much else going on besides a quick animation and then basically what you see here. So Cloud 3, we're going to edit behaviors and take these two off. And maybe just for easy sake, we'll name this Death Cloud. Just so we know that that one doesn't have behaviors. And we will be resizing the wrong way because they do not need to be destroyed, they do not need to be spawned, so they will come in at the size required. Or at the size that we set them at. So we're going to put this one here, and drag a copy to the side, put this one here, and drag a copy. We're going to shrink this one a bit, not too terribly much. Put that there. Put it closer to the center. And that's good enough, so just do this one too. Do a third level. And not too small. There we go. Now we got like a mushroom cloud going. And instead of inserting a timeline this way, since our first page already had that, we are going to insert a timeline right there. We will name this one Death Cloud. And let's double click into that and get set up. And I've found out this one's better to go at the top. Alright, so let's add the timeline. And we want all the clouds. So we will still stick with a 5-second time. Make sure we are in edit mode. drag it to the 5-second time for a selection. And we're just going to bring this off screen. And let's say you moved it to here. It's going to take 5 seconds to get this short of a distance. And the farther you move it out, the faster it's going to go. So let's just guess at how far we're going to go for the start. And I'm just going to try to match that visually the best I can. Make sure both of these are still selected and insert a keyframe. Now that it's done that, let's see how fast that starts. That's not too terrible. So now the way I'm setting this up is I want the upper clouds to wait a second before they start moving. So these are going to start moving. They're not going to get all the way off screen, and then these are going to start moving. And the way we do that is we're going to move 1 second in, and then we can go ahead and drag this middle one out and put it here. Drag this middle one out and put it there. And don't forget the keyframe. And the keyframe. You would only have to insert it once had you selected both and then put the keyframe in. So now that we're on the third level, let's go ahead and get to 2 seconds. Oh, and actually I told you wrong already. There we go. With all my backups and undos, let me make sure that's still set okay. There we go. So now, 1 second. We're going to take both of the middle ones, set a keyframe. Set a keyframe first. Then we're going to move to 5 seconds. And so we're not dragging both of them. We're just going to select the one, drag this out to here, maybe there, drag this one out to here, maybe there, and they'll be good enough. So we'll put another keyframe. Selection is at 5 seconds. And then we'll move up to the next one. And just like before, we want a delay. Oh, and I did not select both. So we're going to have to move this one back out and try to visually guess how close these gaps are. And insert a keyframe. Now we can move to this one and say insert a keyframe once we get both top clouds selected. And we're going to take this one out after we move to 5 seconds. And we'll take it out to say there. And we'll take this one out to about here. Make sure both are selected and keyframe. Now let's back that up and see what it looks like. It's good enough for me. Gets the idea across. Not too complicated a movement, but it is multiple different movements at different times, which could be useful for some people to see. And now that we're done with that, we'll close that out. And we do not want to set the loop. So for the time being, let's go ahead and add layers. Add layer. This one's going to be cloud. This one can be gate or whatever object you want to be behind the clouds. We'll keep layer 0 as layer 0. And with layer 0 selected, we'll put the sky out here. Just set it to 0, 0. And as you can see, we may have made the layers, but we haven't told them what goes there yet. So just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and send the sky to the bottom. And I want all my death clouds to go to cloud. That's the only thing I've got right now. And we're going to go ahead and take a few of these. And we'll take some of these. Just don't do that. Make sure it's a copy also. Trying to hit control. There we go. And we know those are already coded for the smart image to do all this, so we don't need to make any changes. I do not believe. Yeah, we still got our speed. Everything's set right. So let's add the next part. We're going to insert a new image. And I went way too far. Sprite. Just click somewhere out of sight or out of the page so that way you can see it. And earlier we dealt with multiple animations. I do suggest using that kind of layout for players, but if you have something very simple, let's go ahead and do it a little bit differently so we can see a different way of coding. So let's go ahead and go to desktop, gates, and close. Just as before, the first one you want shown, make sure is selected first. And then you can control click in the order that you want them uploaded. And as you can see, I've got my nice little gate opening very quickly. And I think it actually loads slower than that in game, but we will see. So for the time being, I'm going to set that there and put it close to the height with a aspect ratio resize. And then to center this one, we're going to take the position, do 960 by 540 because that's half of 1920 and 1080. And we did have it set, there we go. We did have it set for animation, but let's set that off for now. So now we've got pretty much everything set up for this. I have some small tweaks that I still want to do. Like number one, get the custom retry button completely out of there. And in the event died, it deleted that but did not delete the action. So if we was to load into this, it would instantly send us to game level 1, which we do not want. So let's go ahead and make an event for the system and say on start of layout, we are going to tell the timeline controller to play Death Clouds and tag it Death Cloud. Now that we've got that triggered to play, we need to trigger the gate. So we need to add event and say when the timeline controller on finished of Death Cloud, you're going to tell the sprite, or well, the gate, to start the animation from the current frame And we also need to make sure that the gate has a set speed. And we're just going to use the automatic that they normally start with of 5. So there still should be a little bit of glitch going on visually, but let's see how it all turned out right now. That played really, really fast. So let us go back into our code. This code. Set the animation speed frame to 2 and see how that turns out. And that was much slower. So 4. There we go. That's not too slow, not too fast. And as you saw, the restart button was showing up front, and we do not want that. So first things first, let us go into You Died, Cloud. Yeah, we haven't done anything else. Got those two, and we're going to put them into Cloud. Lock that real quick so I can select the cloud. Cloud, put it in Cloud. Oh, and actually, you did not want to do that. Ooh, it said resize. So anyway, we will fix that here in a minute. And let's go ahead and center our button. I'm not doing anything fancy, just using this square here they put above to be in the middle of the gate. And I've tried resetting this down to 0. I've tried even putting it below 0. I don't remember the outcome of that one, but there's always some kind of bug with the visual. So what we're going to do is initially visible off. And then we need to go back into the event code and say when the timeline controller, I wish I could say when this was done, but when the timeline controller on finished, we are going to say Death Cloud. So when the Death Cloud timeline finishes, we will make our button retry set to visible. Or you could hit toggle since it's already off. And that will be almost fine. So we have a system setting or a system action that needs to make us to wait. So we have 4 frames and we are playing 4 frames per second. So we need to wait 1 second. If you felt like making them wait slightly a bit longer, you could do say 1.5 seconds. and then just drag that set visibility or that time above set visibility. And let's take a quick peek at it. That was about perfect. But we also need to fix our text going across here, and we'll fix the layers with our clouds. So again, let's go ahead and get into You Died. And we'll select it this way. Died info. And I'm going to say easy button. And go this route. We're deleting everything but You Have Died, try again. And here is the fun part. So you know you want to be able to see it while the gate's open, but the gate is not open unless you're playing it. And you don't want to play it over and over. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure our sky is locked, so we're not selecting it. And we have our gate. Still can't. Oh, it's locked. That's right. We locked it earlier. Unlock all. And actually, that shouldn't be an issue now. Yep. So now on the left here with your gate selected, or if you have anything that you're trying to go through the animation frames for, just set the animation and set the frame. So now that we see everything fits in there nice and pretty, I'm going to take my died info and do this. Sorry about the dog. He just got a little excited and wanted to get off the bed. And so our die banner can just, can just go down. I'm going to cheat since I know this one works. Well, I didn't mean to do that. So we got that. I'm just going to scroll click so nothing else gets selected. Then use my arrows to move it down. And since our clouds are white, let's go ahead and change this to, oh, let's say something like this, just a little bit darker. We're going to add that to custom colors. Died info, color, and use that color. So now the only thing we need to fix are our clouds. And yes, I know I should fix this, but this is just an example game, so I'm not worried about it. Let's unlock everything, or unhide everything. Select all the death clouds, and now we can hide those in the editor and lock them. So let us say not all of our clouds we want to be in the front, not all of our clouds we want to be in the back. I'll lock this. And even though it's locked, we had it selected last, so it's over here. And I can change this to information. And visible in editor. And now we can select our clouds. And let us put that on layer 0. Or actually, Well, yeah, we can't really put it underneath layer 0. So let's go ahead and just put this on layer 0. There we go. Now we can do it. I don't know why that wasn't showing up earlier. So lock, unlock all, and just highlight everything. Oh, I was hoping we could. Apparently we can't set it visible like that. So we'll right click or left click over there, visible in editor. Probably should start with one that's not going to get in the way. And visible in editor. And I don't think we hid the text or anything. So let's see how this one's going. All right. Kind of what I was looking for anyway. Some clouds are going in front, some clouds are going behind. But let's just say you wanted all clouds to go behind. So I'm going to set them invisible in editor. And lock this again. Lock this in. And visible in editor. So let's do this. Layer 0, Z order, send to bottom. And our sky is hiding it, so we need to take our Z order and send to top. So we have our gates, everything should be good. Now we can unlock all, select our clouds in the project properties here, and visible in editor. Do the same for our gates. And let's take a peek. Alright, everything's working, but we seem to have done something wrong with our gate. Visible in editor, initially visible. What layer are we on? Layer 0. It's because it ended up behind the sky. So let's make sure gate is on gate. Alright, only one more fix to go. Two more fixes to go. We need our text back and we need our clouds back. So let's go find our text. Layer 0, layer 0. We're going to put that on the same one as the gates. And man, those clouds are really getting in the way. Visible in editor and locked. So we have that, that to the gate level. And I'm going to lock my gate so I can select these easily. Those were supposed to be locked. There we go. Now I can select it. And since those are showing, we really should just unlock the gate, bring that to the front. Unlock all on gate. Then we're going to send the gate to the top of the layer. And that's where it should be now. And we're going to add a layer for small clouds. And we're going to put that underneath the gate and above the layer 0. So cloud 2, cloud 1, and now go to small clouds, and they should all be behind everything. One last try, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this one is ready to go. There we go. Finally got it perfect. Sorry, it took us 10 minutes to get there at the ending. And because I dragged it on, I am going to go ahead and shut this one off. And I think next time we go around, we'll start on the level select screen. And if anyone is still with me, I want to give you the benefit of seeing what's coming next. So let me pause and be right back. Alright, and here we are, guys. We've been playing with effects. I haven't had a lot of time to go through everything, so some of these are a little bit rushed. Not going to worry that they're coming over the green, it's just mainly for example. And so we could have like blood cells going through a vein. This could be, say, the same thing, only with lower quality. And you could change these colors, change the effects. Like most of these are just very, very simple image of a colored circle. Maybe it has an outline, like this one just has an outline, no center color. This one, I literally just had a square and I just slashed some streaks. This one, we have a solid color circle. And I do believe on this one, it's either the solid color circle or it's an empty circle with an outline border of darker red. And then the inside has a partially transparent brush. So the center of it is more solid and the outside of it is less solid. That could be what this is at a very smaller scale. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head. It's just different things you can do. And apparently I didn't get my code right on this one because this one is supposed to show water. Oh, and it did. It just didn't change the color of the background. So yeah, we've got our big bubbles here. We've got little tiny ripples in the water just going by. And then we have our bubble just kind of going crazy there. Just a few things that I was working on and having fun with. I'm going to try to see if we can input this into our game.